And good morning, folks. Welcome to Blue Sky Live's day trading stream. Today is December 3rd, 2025. I want to welcome you all. Hope you all had a good night. Market has gotten pretty spicy here in the opening session. A significant sell-off going into the opening bell. Let's pull up our numbers for the morning session and get you guys started with the morning. Got We've got NQ levels, a breakout level of 25,795. Your first take profit will be 25,906. Sell the reversal at 25,700. Buy the reversal spot at 25,511 with a breakdown spot of 25,416. And your first take profit from that breakdown will be 25,305. ES levels for the morning will be a breakout level of 6,868. First take profit is 6,884. Sell the reversal at 6,854. Buy the reversal spot at 6,826. Breakdown spot of 6,812. And your first take profit would be 6,795. For our gold traders, we've got a breakout spot of 4,262. Take profit spot of 4,286. Sell the reversal at 4,241. Buy the reversal at 4,200. And a breakdown spot of 4,179. And that first take profit on that breakdown will be 4,155. If you guys like those levels and they help you out, stop in the Discord because that's where I post them each and every single morning. So you pop in the morning show, you pop in our Discord channel, and I leave those in the Blue Sky Live chat. But there's only one way to take advantage of those, and that's by being in the Discord. So stop in today. And I also mentioned if I get over 50 people in the Discord, I'm personally going to do my own giveaway. I'm going to give away a couple of Starbucks cards and maybe a shirt or a hoodie. So stop in. Let's see those numbers get up. Let's prove why Blue Sky is the best in the business. We also have a ton of information going on today. Ton of numbers happening in the morning session. We've got ISM employment. We've got ISM services PMI. We've got IMS services prices. We've got crude oil indexes and a couple of Fed speakers. We've got a 17-week bond auction. So it is a jam-packed filled morning with tons of information. So make sure you guys are prepared. Keep those stops in place. We're about 12 minutes? Yeah, look, 12 minutes away from open. Let's take a look at the overall market and see where we're at for the morning session. Broke below yesterday's orb right here. We could see that here on the chart. Let's take a look at what gold is doing. Just kind of get a eagle's eye view, zoom out while we've got time here in the pre-market. Looks like gold put an overnight high of, 4,727. Testing the 9 EMA right now. Well, actually testing the 26. Broke below the 9 on the 5 minutes, so kind of consolidating here at the open. So to be expected. So we'll see how the morning session goes if we continue that rise up to the upside or if we get that dip. Really concerned about NASDAQ taking such a nasty sell here in the morning, though. Seems like imbalances might just even further send us down. Coach, can't see your charts. Oh, my bad. I am so sorry about that. Thank you. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, MJ. I'm sorry. Thanks, MJ. Good morning. What a dumper. This is the knife catch. Jeez, Louise. We want Mike. You want Mike and Steve. Good morning. Hey, Dawson, how's it going? Good morning to you. Mike, send him a DM, brother. You can send him a DM. He might be able to pop in. I'm not really sure though. Coach Mike doesn't always pop in, and Steve usually handles the afternoon sessions. But I hope that I can give you some great tips and trade advice through the trading day. Don't know if you've been with the channel before. I've been with the team for 6 months already. Have you caught us here before? You might have seen some of my lives and stuff. How's your morning trading session going for you, Dawson? I see you out there on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Nikki? Oh, we love you too, my friend. We love you too. So what we're gonna do here on Nasdaq, looking like it might just create a bearish flag here at the bottom of this. Will we get a nice bounce? Rizzaroonie. Aaron, love you too, brother. Love you too. Good morning. All right, we're 8 minutes away from the open team. Move into paper trading. Fantastic. You made your money for the day, well over a G, right? Is that correct? No trades yet? I feel you on that. I haven't taken any trades yet for the morning session, but just got my numbers up for the morning. So, I take my time a little. We'll see. Yesterday we had two killer trades in the morning session. Unfortunately, right before I burned out, I tried to take another trade and I was having some delays on my price action. Not really sure why that was happening, but nonetheless, we overcome, we get through it and stuff. Let's get over to the ticker since we already know what's on the hot sheets for today. There we go. We've got some hot stocks. Whoa. Imagine those are some crazy gains. You have do you really have 1,000,000 contracts on that? That is a lot of contracts. That is more than full port. No, that's why we get up early, Aaron. That's why we get up early. We get up early so that we can be prepared, Red. We're up early, ready to rock and roll, ready to make that money. Some pretty decent moves with crypto in the overnight. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Holding those levels well. Unfortunately, with the sell-off here on Nasdaq, I'm not sure how that will be received on Bitcoin. Maybe it'll follow suit, but hopefully not. I've been paper trading this trading account since November when I lost my SFA. Dang. Those are some crazy numbers, Nikki. Those are very impressive numbers. Keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. That's what I like to do. I like to paper trade. I don't have a problem with it. Suits me just fine, to at least get my bearing to make sure that what I see is actually what's on the chart, because sometimes that's hard. 6 minutes away from opening bell. Poster gaining traction. All right. Okay. See how long it takes for TikTok Studio to load up. I'm waiting for this thing to pop up. Looks like we're good to go now. All right, let's get it started. Move this up to the top. Let's go ahead and switch to performance mode here so I don't have to see that. Okay, that should help out a little bit. Looks like TikTok is trying its best to load up. 4 minutes away from the open. Let's slide on over to ES. Take a look at ES hasn't bounced back the way Nasdaq has, because I think Nasdaq is already approaching the bottom of the orb. That just left up my PC. Okay, yeah. So NQ is already testing the bottom of the orb because it actually moved further than ES did. So let's see what ES does here in the opening bell. This is unrealistic. You have the pockets to support that kind of trading. You should paper trade like you were using real money, just my opinion. 25 minutes ago, we had numbers dropping and stuff. That's what that was. I think he's been slowly gaining on it, though. To be honest with you, I think that's basically what has been happening. He's been gaining profit as he's gone. That was Microsoft news. What's up with Microsoft? Let me move over to the news feed and see what I've seen here. Microsoft lowers AI software sales quota information. So that's what we had. Let's see if I can dive further into it and get us some a little bit more feedback on what it is. I saw people talking about the AI bubble and stuff. I don't think people really understand it. You know, I think it's going to be a double-edged sword. I think on one side you're going to see like these drastic, you'll see something drastic with it, but then you should see the benefit of it. Where's the rest of the title on this? That's weird. Didn't let me paste in all my text on this. Trying to get the title right on TikTok, but it won't let me do it. It will not let me do it. Maybe the title is just too big. Oh yeah, it is. It is way too big. All right, let's go live on TikTok. We are live on TikTok. All right. It looks like we might have a red day on our hands. The market doesn't recover. Take a look at the heat map here in the morning session. Yeah, it makes sense with the AI talk. Oh, let's see. U.S. Secretary Bassett. I'm optimistic on the U.S. Supreme Court tariff case. What does that mean, though? Optimistic in what? The court needs to be prudent about undoing Trump's IEPA tariffs. I don't know. They can be prudent. If it's illegal, it's illegal. I don't think they're gonna really care. That's not really their problem. If you break the law, you get gig for it. It's your problem to deal with it. They're not like, oh, they make special, like, exceptions because you're special. Well, I guess they do. We live in a different time now. Back in the day, not so much, but now, yeah, there's all kinds of special treatment now. So the norms are no longer, well, it's a very different process now. It is a very different process. All right, let's see. Less than a few seconds away from the opening bell. Let's look at NASDAQ and take, well, not what I wanted. Come on, switch over. There we go. And ding, ding, ding. There's your opening bell. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some money today. You're hearing chips are starting to dip here in the opening session. NQ testing that prior day or below. Microsoft just Microsoft catching a little bit of a bounce. Nvidia kind of selling though here at the open. Market imbalances. S&P 500 buy side 130 million. NASDAQ buy side 5 million. Dow 40 million buy side, and Mag 7 sell side 5 million. So S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow market imbalances that open to the buy side. Mag 7 5 million to the sell side. I used to try to price in politics and Trump news, but I realized it all doesn't even matter. It doesn't really matter. You just have to basically just hopefully be lucky that you're on the right side when it moves. You know, that kind of really resonates, again this season or this term. His last term was much worse because there was a lot more volatility and just randomness happening in the market. And fortunate for us, we don't have that currently happening. The market has, he's learned his lesson and he's not, manipulating the market in the manner he was before. That's definitely a good thing and helps, for a more technical approach to trading. So, grateful for that. Wow. Pretty nasty here in the morning session. Let's take a look at the options chain and see what the morning session's going to give us. Let's see if we can get any indication of the way the market is kind of tilting going into the morning. Market is like moving super rapidly. Let's see. Let's take a look at SPY options chain. I'm not even getting real numbers on that. Oh wow. Look at that move. It looks like the SPY is closing the opening gap here in the morning session, just a few points away from closing it, and it just did. Yeah, so SPY just closed the sell, so the opening gap to the upside. So that has already been completed. Hmm. Kind of even right now, more to the buy side on the market for the time being. Sorry about that, team. Oh, my allergies have got me today. I need Tesla to have one of them days. You know what? Tesla might just have one of those days. Gold also has zero DTEs. So maybe we'll see some movement on gold. Looks like gold is starting to progress. Let's move over to Tesla. Since you mentioned that as a ticker, take a gander and see what Tesla's got for us. Wow, my PC is like super laggy right now. Oh, there it is. All right, looks like Tesla's catching a beautiful bid to the upside here. And the market is kind of struggling. It's at the solo. It's at the buy the reversal spot for me off the levels I dropped in chat. That's a real question. Will it continue to go? There goes Tesla, though. Look like Tesla's gonna have you. LP, it looks like you're gonna have one of those days, my friend. It looks like Tesla might just give you one of those days. Can it keep going though? Now, how's it going, TikTok viewers? I see that we got a few of you folks out there watching the charts with us. You guys have any questions out on TikTok? More than glad to help you guys out. You have to check out our great specials or check out the links in the chat below. We've got great live classes that happen throughout the week, almost every day. Today's Wednesday, so you guys are stuck with me today. I think, well, you know what? We got Stephen Kalich coming up today. So I think he's got an after hour session, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be coaching in the Asia. Let me double check my schedule if I can get to the Discord. Everything's a little laggy for me right now. So let's see. Let's see the social calendar and just double check. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. Oh, it sounds like Steve is making bank here in the morning session. Let's go. Let's see. Announcements. Let's go to announcements. Wednesday, yeah. So you can catch Coach Stevens trading class at 7 p.m. Eastern today and tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that. And Power Hour with Coach Becky and Coach Matt. I think it'll only be Coach Matt today. So it looks like they got her schedule up and running. So, stop in, check it out. Check out our awesome coaches here at Blue Sky. All right, let's go back to take a gander at what. It's just not time yet. We're getting close to creating the opening 15-minute orb. But pretty interesting. We're in yesterday's orb range right now, respecting that zone. I wonder if it'll be an inside day. We just kind of range inside of here. We do have numbers coming out. So I'd imagine that we would see more news. Oh, there goes Tesla starting to break out of that range. Oh, can I get to gold, please? Let's see it. We'll get to gold. Gold kind of rejecting. I think we'll get the move up though. We'll just keep an eye on it. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin kind of consolidating. Hasn't figured out a real direction yet. Did throw the sell. Apple is ripping to the upside here in the morning session. We're still at that buy the reversal spot. Really interesting spot that NQ is in right now. You got support and resistance above and below on it. I see it. Can it rip though? Looks like it wants to go for it though. Hey Steve, what are you doing? What are you looking at on the charts? I hear you buying and selling over there. I hear all your bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, Steve's deafened. He's not even listening. I heard Steve too. I'm going to mute him out. All right. Oh, there's an order filled from Steve, and he got a cha-ching. He just nailed $500. And there goes Steve again. Another order filled. Man, it is a smorgasbord of order fills here with Steve. I'm getting FOMO, Steve. I'm getting FOMO. I'm hearing that cha-ching. Give us alpha. I know, man. I know Steve is hitting switches. He didn't even tell me to go short. I feel left out on this train. Oh, we got another 5 minutes for the opening range break to complete. All I know is that Steve's buying lunch. That's what I heard. I think chat heard that as well. Steve's buying lunch, right, guys? Exactly. That's what I heard. Nice lunch. Oh, we got some announcements going on in the chat. Okay. Okay, stock traders, it is time. Blue Sky now offers, oh my God, stock trading evaluations through Volumetrica. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. I'm getting the memo now. I kind of knew about it. I knew that we had stocks available, but yeah, now at Blue Sky, you can trade stocks. You can buy and sell shares of companies. You've been waiting to trade stocks inside Blue Sky. This is your moment. New evaluations, clean rules, a straight path to brokerage. Let your stocks strategy shine. Stock only evaluations, clear targets and limits. $99 launch fee. powered by Volumetrica. Link is in the announcements page. I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat for you guys that are interested. So that way you guys can check that out because that is it. Dollar menu, $5, $5 foot long, any minute. You know what? I have that. I actually do have that on my soundboard now that I think about it. But yeah, check that out. Crazy. Like, what are we doing here? Are they bomb? Never had them. Message request. Who is messaging me? Mm. Oh, yeah. I'm hearing some of the tech stocks are moving, Apple being one of them. Google flat, Meta down 0.28%. A lot of green in the sectors that were red yesterday. You know, we noticed that finance, healthcare, non-consumer durables, the rest of the sector was red and kind of flat yesterday. Seems that it's more positive today. So definitely a good sign. ETH is camping. Let's see. Oh, let's pull up the chart. Renko's have the sell. Renko's a sell for the time being. I like it. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Chips. Could chips take a dump though? Let's see if we can pull up what Nvidia, NVDA. I want to see what NVDA is doing. Because if NVDA is pushing, oh, it's under the 200. It's under the 200. That's what it is. But you got some of the chips that are moving. You know, I don't know if I want to. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for about 6 years. What's up, my friend? How you doing out there on Kick? Good to see you. About 6 years. Started off trading in crypto. So I started trading crypto at the beginning. Got tired of I was kind of stuck in the space when the crypto exchanges were crashing. You know, they were doing rug pulls, stuff like that. And since, you know, I was trying to, you know, supplement my income. I couldn't afford to have my money in markets in an exchange that could collapse. So what I ended up doing is I switched over to trading the options. I went to stocks and options because of it. And in the course of that, you know, it was what this is all like pre-COVID time. It was like Trump's first administration. One of the hardest times to trade. And based off of that, you know, I realized that there was a lot of movement in the market I couldn't capitalize in the after hours session. So that motivated me to want to move over to trading futures and learning futures. The communities I was involved with at the time, they weren't trading futures. So I was like one of the few traders that was like transitioning over to that. And you know, that's kind of how it went. I went over to that and you know, kind of stuck with trading futures, got better at it, started to find my kind of my edge, finding consistency in my trades. Then I decided to switch back over. I'm a mixed bag, you know. And then I started to add in trading options and then trading crypto. So now, you know, now I kind of rotate the sphere, you know, going back and forth and stuff. It varies. It depends on the port and stuff. I got a bunch of different portfolios that I manage. So I've got one that is my cash portfolio, and then I got long-term investments. So and I've I have accounts that I have just for trading into intraday. the money in there is money I'm willing to lose, and I have my long-term investments that it's kind of like break in case of emergency, because you have to have some kind of plan of how to, CYA yourself when you're trading, because otherwise you need to build a safety net. So I have some assets that I have specific rules I don't touch. I only touch them if, things go disastrously wrong that I need money to pay, I gotta pay the house, things like that. So it just varies. But as of lately, I've been getting back into a lot more of trading props. If you're new and inexperienced, that's the great thing about props is you don't have to use your own money. What's the highest profit you have ever made? You're on stream, what, like 2.5 weeks ago? I think we did like 40 G's on stream. So we took some live trades, ended up, closing out at like 40,000 one day. This is about 3 weeks ago, I believe. So there's a lot of opportunity, but you know what? It takes time. It's not an easy process. And like I said, if you're interested in trading, trading in general, I definitely suggest checking out paper trading, simulation trading. And then, firms like Blue Sky ourselves, we offer some great accounts. We offer you a capability of trading without using your own money. So at the most investment, you'd be looking at, depending on the plan, anywhere from 150 to $200 to trade up to $200,000 worth of capital that you're not responsible for. Uh, you have no recourse that if you lose that money, that someone's going to come knock on your door and say, "Hey, you owe us, $500,000, $250,000, things like that." It is all managed through the prop itself. You can capture up to 90% of your gains. So as you're trading and making money, you get to keep 90%. The firm keeps 10%. And it's it's really it's really a great way. When I was first starting in, there wasn't as many props in the industry, and then as time progressed, more firms came in, better firms, and one of the better ones, obviously, Blue Sky. So you should check it out though. If you're interested in trading, we've got some great coaches. Best suggestion, don't pay for anything. Knowledge is free. There is a ton of free resources out there. So don't get caught up in the game that you need to pay for a subscription, you need to buy tools. The only thing you really need to buy is live data. That is what you need to buy. Live data and the order book data, because you can't get around that. But if anything, start learning, basic strategies, and it can help you. You made your first million on trading. No, I made my first million when promoting my company. I used to own a company called Bear Computing. So I made my first million in my IT company. That's where I made my money. So I actually made my money in a brick and mortar business. I was self-employed for 25 years. I've run various companies. My main IT company, we did nationwide work, coast to coast. We even serviced clients in Hawaii for a few years. So that was actually where I made the majority of my wealth. Me coming into trading was me trading is basically my retirement. This is my retirement. I'm what, 8 days, 9 days away from turning 50. If you can believe it, I'm gonna be 50 in like 8 days. On December 11th, I'll be 50 years old. So this is me, dialing it back and reclaiming my time. It's supposedly reclaiming my time. It sure as heck doesn't feel like it some days. That's half a century. Thank you for pointing that out, Aaron. But I'm just glad you didn't say that I'm older than dirt. I'm up. I'm up 12 buckets, but could only go for 20. Pretty tight orb. It looks like it. You know what? Let's slide on over. I still got that sell signal. I am eyeing shorts in the market. That's exactly what I'm doing. It is a tight range. So let's shift on over to the 15-minute time frame, and let's take a look at what the orb is going to do for us. I think we're going to sell. Rankos show us we're going to sell. So Yeah, I have a different story than, a lot of other traders, Well, we all have different stories. I got friends, you know, in real estate and, different industries and stuff that came into investing. I got friends that were college students. They were high school students trading with me in HTF, you know, and are now great traders. I've got one friend that he was a college student, that now he's becoming a financial advisor and all this other, great stuff. So, trading just one of those things that it can be anybody. Heck, anybody can do it. You just have to have patience and understand that there is a process, and you have to trust the process. You can't rush it because everyone's process is different. The way you manage your emotions, handle yourself, and your trade style, your wins, your losses, they all affect the trader you'll become. Good luck to you though. Like I said, we've got some fantastic classes. Coach Matt tomorrow, a free mentorship class from someone with years and years of experience. I love Coach Matt. Like, if you haven't seen, I've got this clip on YouTube Shorts. It's called "A Day Trader's Confessions." I was going through like Restream, and I always do a review of my vlogs that I do for Blue Sky, just to see how I can improve, I can get better on my streams and stuff like that. And I heard this beautiful, just kind of just quote from Coach Matt, talking about being a trader. We're starting a podcast. So all the coaches here at Blue Sky, we're all starting a podcast, and we're all really excited about it. And at one point, he was talking about, the confessions of a trader, the wins, the losses, and it was just so eloquently said. I made a clip of it and I posted it up, and it's doing great. But then again, like, going back to my point, I love to hear what Coach Matt, says. He's so insightful. He's taught me so much. I mean, that's a cool thing about trading. People with more or less experience sometimes can make you, learn things or look at things from a different perspective. And that's the important thing I feel about the market, is it's all about perspective. I'm interested in trading, so I will start after a few months. No, you know what? You don't have to start in a few months. Don't use that as an excuse, my friend. You know why? You could trade for free. You could trade for free. You don't have to spend money to trade. Just because you're learning doesn't mean you need to spend money. That is a common misconception that people have. You may not make money, but you don't have to spend money to trade. You can get a sim account. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a paper account. You can paper trade for free for those months. Learn the platform. Learn how to place an order. Learn how many contracts it takes to make $200. Learn how many contracts and what kind of move it takes to make $1,000. There are key pieces of information and experience that are invaluable that you'll learn from paper trading. You'll feel more comfortable than when you decide that you have the money to spend, and you can put money into the market that you're willing to lose. It will give you an edge that you won't realize right now. That's it. You won't realize the edge that you'll get right now by doing that simple thing of just paper trading. And thank you, Chris. Check my orb levels, brother. All right, all right. I see you there. On NASDAQ, looks like orb high will be 25,500. Orb low will be 25,422. And it looks like right now NQ is testing that. Still a no trade zone for me. Let's see what rank goes. Let's go back to the rank goes and see what we're doing. We're doing some ghost candles to the upside. I think chips are going to sell, though. I'm hearing some negative news on Nvidia. Let's go back to Nvidia's chart. Yeah, definitely. You know what? You're right. Save some money when you're prepared, because you know what? You got to have a little bit of ammunition to be able to trade. You're absolutely right. But just like playing chess, just like playing a video game, You have those opportunities in paper trading to learn. You got to learn some strategies. You're going to have to learn some strategies. You're going to have to pick what makes sense to you and is easy for you to trade. I use Orb. So if we go back to NASDAQ, super simple strategy. Every single morning, if you pop in, we'll talk about it. And it's super simple. It's not even rocket science. Doesn't take a lot, but it's all about risk management. So all you do is you wait for the first 15-minute candle. You put a line at the top and I put a line at the bottom. Include the wick. So it has to be the full candle, wick top to wick bottom. Some people like the 30. I like the 15 because for my viewers, it allows an earlier trade and it's a little more aggressive and active in the morning session. Most people don't want to wait half an hour for a trade, so, but then again, I take my time. I've only got 2 hours to hang with you all in the morning session, and I want to give you guys the best trade I can. So all you basically want to do is look for a break on the top side or the bottom side of that orb. And that's your trade. Set a stop below it, can be a prior candle low, which is where I like to go. And you try to go for, the expansion move. Just bear in mind, it could pull back on you, but with the proper sizing, you can capitalize $200 to $250 on a move like that with 3 MNQ cons. Doesn't take a lot of leverage for that. We've got some great plans on sale for $59 and $69. That's all it would take for you to trade with up to $50,000. $59 gets you a $50,000 line of credit. I love the orb. I'm glad. You know what? I do too. It at least gives you something to have patience about, that you know what you're waiting for. It kind of makes you follow a time, because you're like, oh, it's that time yet. I gotta wait. We haven't done X, Y, and Z. Look at us here on the 15-minute. This is actually really good because if you look at the candle structure in a minute 26 seconds, this candle's gonna end. And look at where if it holds through for the next minute, where will the next candle create? It should create above and expand to the upside. So now, not only do we have one target, we've got 2 targets. We've got this 4-hour support resistance at 25,523. You've got a wick high, a prior wick high at 25,533. So it gives you 2 targets, and then you got a Monday target, which is also VWAP right there. So you have like 3 different targets you could go for. And depending on the expansion, you could actually just start writing it up. Let's take the trade. Let's get aggressive on it. Let's see if we can get that expansion up to the upside. Oop. All right, we'll put our stop down at the wick low. That's about $365 of risk right there. And we're going to see if we can go for, let's see if we can get halfway through that candle, through that wick. We'll put it at the top. We'll put it at the 4-hour support. There you go. There's our risk to reward. The 2-to-1 risk to reward right there. And look at that. That expansion right there. Look, let's go. Come on. Push it. Just like that. Just like that. That's what we do every morning. And that is the orb. That is the opening range break. And you can see I explained why, how, and the method of trading it. And you saw it here. We do that each and every single day, traders. So let's go. What news? We're still inside the orb? What do you mean we're still inside the orb? Oh, I did it on the wrong time frame, didn't I? I don't have my glasses on. You're absolutely right. Hey, it worked though. It worked. I mean, I just don't want to wear my glasses. My glasses look like Garbo. I need to get some new glasses. I got some great news yesterday. So yeah, I need to make some time. I've been trying to look for the place that I got my LASIK done. I'm trying to look for the place I got my LASIK done. Not because I can't see it, okay? Not because I can't see it. No, because the name of the place I can't remember. I know where the location is, but when I looked it up on Google Maps, it doesn't look like the same one there. So I think I'm gonna have to just take a drive over there. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna run out this afternoon, which I hate to do. I hate to run out, out of the house, but I am today. Okay. Okay. You know what, Chris? You called me out, man. You called me out on that. So let's adjust the orb. You know what? I don't know why I thought that was it right there. Man, oh man. That was a real aggressive move on it. I tell you. Okay. All right. Let me know if this looks better for you, Chris. I'm sorry for that. I am so sorry for that. You know what? I was a little excited that, everything was going super smooth. You don't need the orb levels. You just have to have at least some management. We saw the move, we took it, we made some money. So, that's what we do here. Well, I'm an editor or part-time designer. Do you need for your channels? We actually have a huge marketing team. We've got about what, 4 or 5 people, maybe 6 people that work in marketing and design. We've got a graphics design firm. I think the design firm, I think that takes them a little bit to turn around stuff. But yeah, we have a handful of people. We got Rebecca, we've got Justin, McCarrum. Yeah, we've got all those folks. You should talk to those people if you're a part-time designer, because we got a ton of people there. We've got a design team. You should see some of my graphics that they've put together. They're putting together an awesome sale ad for me. So I've got my own code. I've got my own 30% off static and what was it? Static and premium accounts. So if you use my name code Rizzler, you actually get 30% off accounts. So I've got Rebecca working on some graphics. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not the person to ask because I don't own Blue Sky. You'd have to go through the proper channels. Yeah, you should check out our website. We're actually a pretty large, company. We're not like some mom or pop shop like unfortunately most of the other kick channels will be a lot smaller in comparison, but we're I mean there are some big ones, but nobody else like other regular channels like us. I know that because I'm on Kick. I've got a couple of pretty big Kick channels. Yeah, like my personal Kick channel, I got like over 1,000 followers on it. I'm building another channel right now. I'm up to 100 followers on that. But I do all the marketing myself over there. So very different than here. But we've got a marketing department. We actually have a marketing department and yeah, they do all that stuff and everything. They're doing a great job. Broke the orb and VWAP, I believe. Yes, we did break the orb, but I think we already took our trade. Did I send my resume a while ago for customer support? Love the company and would have liked to contribute. You know what? Definitely. I know that RQ could use some help. You feel the market moving. You know what? Sometimes you do. You know what? Sometimes I can tell when the market is going to work in my direction. Sometimes, I don't know. I'll look to go like you. I don't need help. Talking about RQ, you've been up for like two days. You've been up since yesterday. I made RQ work so much last night. I dragged him into my Discord. He was with me. I even had him on going on one of my streams. Do you even work? RQ is one of our top ticket crunchers. That guy's putting out, man, pobrecito RQ. You guys got to be nice to RQ, man. They got him sleeping under the desk some days, bro. Well, good deal. Funny story. My wife actually used to have a coworker at another company she worked for, and the girl during her lunch break would get under her desk and she would take a nap. It was It was so funny. When she would tell me that, she was like, yeah, she would just go under her desk, get under there and boom, just crash out. I was like, nah, I've never known anyone that would just get under their desk. So I work remotely. So give me some contact of where we can connect. Socials, bro. If you're in the space, links are above, below. Wait, I'm on Kick. So links are below. Links are below. So just go to the About Us page on Kick, go to BluSky.pro, stop on in, open up a ticket with support. There's a help icon on the lower right-hand side. You can talk to one of our live agents there. RQ is one of them. You might find Rich or some of the other team because we've got support 24/7 because we do service customers around the world. And we service global markets. It's not 24/7. It's like 20, it's what, 23/6, 23/6, because we're open 6 days a week, 23 hours a day. That was a Seinfeld episode. Wait a second. So hey, we had Blasky last night when I posed. For a bit. Yeah. Blasky was on. So if you guys, if you guys are looking for after hours and like the Asia session, catch Blasky. We got Steve coming in this evening. Steve might give Blasky a run for his money. So I would definitely check those guys out because they've got some great content. Steven is like calling out trades left and right. I've seen him during the New York lunch, and yeah, he's just calling him out. You're catching for a bit. There's some DMs going around. You know what? I need to open up my chat. I actually restarted my PC this morning before I started. Kind of help me out here. How you guys doing out there on Kick and TikTok? Yeah, we got a few TikTok viewers out there. Yes, Blue Sky Pro. Let's see. Oh, oh no. Oh man. Ah, that's some terrible news. It looks like Coach Becky had some terrible news happen to her. Please send some prayers out to Coach Becky and her family. Looks like they had a tragedy last night, and I'll let her if she feels like talking about it, but just send some prayers out to her family. I think her family could use it right now. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. That's so terrible. How to deal with conflicting time frames? Ooh, that's a good question. I won't trade them. I won't trade them. If I have a conflict of confluences, then you have a divergence happening, and you're losing your edge. Losing your edge. This is not about guessing. This is not guesswork. It's real money. So what are you more inclined to do? Step aside. Let the confluences line up. You don't have to take the trade. Just remember that. You don't have to take the trade. If you're stuck with it happens to me, and that's how I deal with it. If I find that I have a confluence that are not lined up, then it's not my optimal setup. You got to think about that kind of stuff. What are the rules that you have when you're trading? I'm long, 5 minute, 1 minute long, 5 minute long, 15 minutes short, 1 hour short. What are you looking at? NASDAQ? Not long, that's the condition in Q. Okay. Let's see here. 15-minute. That's short. It's because of the structure, right? Just because we broke those levels, the 1 hours is short too now. I'm looking more short. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking more short just because of the structure itself on the higher time frames. Let's get a sell off, baby. We still got news and numbers dropping. You know, I like the lower time frames because the lower time frames allow you to scout. So it's just a matter of what your trading is, and how what you're looking for. Like me, I prefer a trend trade. So I always am looking for the trend. Where is the trend gonna take me? Because that allows me to capture more gains, right? But the problem with that is that you also can get caught up and chopped when you're trying to attack those trades, right? Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong or you think I'm wrong, but that's what usually ends up happening to me is that I end up getting stuck, getting chopped up where I'm trying to catch that longer trend. So I like the shorter time frames because they'll allow if I can catch them to where they line up, then it means that if the trade works out well overall, I can stay in the trend trade. So that is my thesis on that. So if I find that there are conflicting uh confluences on the higher and lower time frames, then in my mind, I'm going to take my trade, but I will be looking for a stop and I will choke the trade up. I will choke it. I'll use a firmer, tighter stop to ensure that the trade doesn't go against me as much. And, if I see that I'm already in gains, I'll get out of the position faster because I already know maybe I'm counter trading or there's an opportunity like right now, you were saying the shorter time frames look like we want to bounce, right? That's the thesis. We had that big sell off. We're at this low. The lower time frames say that we want to push back up, reclaim the sell off that happened at the open. I'm assuming that's kind of where you're going with this, but the higher time frame shows that the sell is dominant, right? Exactly. The higher time frame is the biggest reward, but it will take longer to play, and there is a lot more waves on smaller time frames. So it really depends on how you're trading again and what your plan is. If you're looking for the trend trade, try to catch it. Yeah, you're gonna have to sit in that trade a lot longer. But when it finally plays out, you will capitalize and make more money off of it. So I would say just manage your risk, accordingly. That's how I would facilitate a trade like that. Hope that helps. Awesome. But in all honesty, I found that patience has been my key to success, being patient. Sometimes it's a slow trade, but I think patience for me has been super helpful. Taking my time, you know, when I first started trading in futures, I was just like trigger happy, because having the amount of capital that we have is beautiful, because normally you can't trade the way we trade, in the prop accounts because we don't have that kind of money more often than not. So being able to lean in on leverage and buy three full size lots and take them, that is a beautiful trade that we can't always take, but being able to leverage your props in that manner, allow you to do that, especially now that we can have like three accounts at Blue Sky, which is fantastic. It means that you get to really really now lean in, have more leverage, and have a possibility to make more money, but it also increases your risk of blowing the account. But it's all about balance gains and risk to reward. Testing the orb high on NQ now looks like bulls might be able to take this market back. Can we get a little bit better retracement on this that prior 15 minute or that prior 1 hour. Almost got a 50% retracement on it. We didn't get down to that wick low though. So we've got sellers trapped at the bottom of that wick. We know that. Pretty nasty too. All right, let's get out of the 1 hour time frame because it's not going to give us what we need. Let's move over to the 15 minute. We still got 12 minutes left on this candle. Imagine if I was still holding that trade from this morning from the opening bell. That would have been insane. Could have probably held that if it was going to rip the way it is. Let's take a look at Nvidia and see how that's holding up for us. Looks like Nvidia looks like Nvidia on the 5 minute made a little cup with a little handle. You guys see that little cup and handle on Nvidia right here? Look at that little cup, and there's your little handle right there. So could we get that flag? It sounds like Steve is getting order filled again. He's making another $500 there. I tell you guys. If anybody's buying lunch this morning, it's Steve. I'm gonna tell him I just want Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A for lunch would be nice. And he just exited for profit. Why does Steve have to be teasing us like that here in the morning session? I swear. He's not giving us any financial, non-financial advice. Renko's haven't pivoted or thrown the buy signal yet. Looking fairly strong. Those two candles might just form for us for the upside. If it does, then we might have that pivot. That might just be the pivot. As a matter of fact, NQ has been dancing off of 25,511. And if you guys saw my morning levels, that is a buy the reversal spot, team. That is a buy the reversal spot. So as long as we do not close above below that, we should have a bounce, which obviously we have. Steve manipulates the market. That's my conspiracy. It probably is him, you know? All those orders right now, that's probably him. Yeah, 22,000 orders. There's a whole lot of volume in the market today. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. I know you would, Steve. And he's still deafened. He's still deafened. I asked him about his rave. He wouldn't even tell me anything about his rave. I was like, how was the rave this past weekend? Didn't even respond. Because he said, yeah. It was Saturday at midnight, dancing until dawn. I wonder how his Yam Red Party went. I didn't get the invite on there. I'm down to dance, you know. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get another trade in. We're about 10 minutes away from the London Power Hour as well, team. So if you guys are new, this is the last hour of the London trading session. So our friends across the pond, this is their Power Hour. So we're entering that in the next 10 minutes. I would expect us to see some volatility. Yesterday at London Power Hour, they sold us off. They sold us into the abyss. London had no recourse. They hit the sell button and they didn't pull the brakes off. You know, it was crazy. It's a good day yesterday. There's some money to be made. Some traders made some money. We made some futures trades that were phenomenal. I'm waiting to see what we're going to do with this orb high. Will we reject this and head further down? Reject those ghosting of candles? See, you can already see that those extra boxes have already subsided. Still got 8.5 minutes left on this 15-minute candle, so it's anybody's game at this point. Can the lower time frames take over and push us up to higher highs? I don't know, but stay tuned, fam. The buy. It's in buy cycle. Well, it looks like it's gonna sell now. It looks like it wants to just break it down. Let's get into here. If I can pull this up. 416. Wait, 616 would be that. Oh my goodness. 615 would be the next strike. Hmm. Yeah, how's it going, Jamie? Good to see you out there on TikTok. Good morning to you. Yeah, how's it going, Dan? Duck 11, 4M. Good to see you all. Good to see you all out there on the ticketiest of talkiest. Hope you all are having a good morning. What a morning session, right, team? Definitely nice. Ooh, speaking of marketing teams, dang, Rebecca killed it. Yeah, I got a cool little banner now. I got a cool little banner now for my sell ads. I'm excited. I want to add it up. I want to add it on there. It looks actually pretty cool. Just 30% off premiums and statics. I love it. So cool. Open containing bean. Let's see if I can get over there. I'm kind of cutting off when I speak. Let's see here. My ping is actually pretty good. My average ping is below, yeah. Outbound packet loss is like TikTok volume is good. All right, fantastic. Yeah, it's a different look on there. It's a different look on there. You should check out the YouTube vertical. The YouTube vertical is sick. I like that layout that I did over there. So like on YouTube, we're streaming like two different formats now. Or I'm streaming two different formats. I can't type in comments in TT, but whatever. TT. Is that Twitch? Oh, TikTok. Really? You can't type in TikTok? Can anybody type in TikTok? You know what? Let me check it out. Let me check it out from my phone. I never use TikTok. It's not my I don't, you know what? I don't like using TikTok because there's always a bunch of sell ads and stuff. Oh, it's my friend's son. That's cute. Let's see. What do Holy moly, this is loud. Sorry. I didn't realize my sound was that loud. Let's see, Blue Sky. Nope. I can type on there. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it don't look too bad either. It don't look too bad. I wish I could make it the way my YouTube stream looks. My YouTube stream looks beautiful. They're making us jump through all kinds of just crazy hurdles at TikTok to be on there. So I've got maybe another like 3 or 4 days, and then I should be Gucci. Let's see. Bitcoin falls below 92K. Oof. Bitcoin breaks 93K. Now I'm actually going through my messages. I normally don't do that. Okay. Let me get off the phone. Let me force quit and relaunch. Emojis work, but keyboard won't. That's odd. That's really odd. Yeah, looks like Gabriel just chatted in. Morning. That must be you, Gabber, right there. That must be you gabbing over there. Emojis, so strange. I got you, my friend. I got you. Yeah, thanks for watching on TikTok. Appreciate it. How about some of you guys out there watching? What is the preferred platform you all are enjoying? I'm seeing a mixed bag. It looks like our X viewers are really where we have a lot of viewers. I've been noticing huge amount of viewers on X. So our live stream out there is actually very active. A bunch of people watching, not a lot of comments though. I'm always willing to look at a ticker if you guys want us to take a look at anything. ES testing or NQ testing that orb high. Let's go take a look at ES. Let's see if ES is giving us a little bit better read on the market here in the morning session. We didn't even adjust our orb, but ES is testing yesterday's orb. Pretty interesting. Actually broke above this morning's orb. Let's get that level set up for you folks so we can get Orby with it. All right, bottom side of the ES orb will be 6,823. Top side of that orb will be 6,839. So right now, currently holding the top side of it. Looks like we might get that upside move. Maybe we'll erase that sell off from the morning session. Check UPS on the weekly. Oh, Nvidia's starting to sell UPS. UPS was struggling a couple of days ago, no? Or a couple of weeks ago. They had a nice move on it. Oh, we're on the top side of this. Huge. Might be a little overextended. Say the weekly, perfect. Test hype. Test hype. You passed the test type. I even see your emojis there on the side of you. Hey, look at that. You're number two. You're number one in my book. Probably got rich. Number one. All right, so we're looking at we're over the EMA. Bro, this could be a killer move if we hold out and break out. I mean, you could see a move all the way to 104 on this thing if it holds. How long will that move take? When is their next earnings? We got earnings in February. What else do they have going on in December? Let's take a look here and see on the calendar. What do they got? Come on, tell me what you got. You're gonna tell me what that is? Oh, my chart just froze. Totally the victim of the November 4th cargo jet crash in Louisville. Wrongful death. Oh, it's a wrongful death ass lawsuits. The only bad thing about that is that's bad news for them. It could like screw up their trend. These bears didn't step in. Oh yeah, those bears, they're probably I say give it some time though. I'm still looking at it. I mean, to me, the sell still, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Nacho. Hey, but you know what? At least you know what not to trade so that you don't lose money. Think of it like that. You're saving your hide. So, even if you don't catch the trade, hey, tomorrow you make that money. You don't need to trade today. I like this on the weekly. The only thing that worries me is the lawsuits on UPS because that could, if it turns out we know they're gonna spend money, they're gonna pay money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just how much money is this gonna cost them. So that would be the only scary thing about that to me, you know? And it looks like most of that move here today in the morning session, they got the rip. I would wait and see until you get back to that 94, unless you're willing to take a longer dated contract on it, maybe a few weeks out and go for that mark. I like it, but that's the only thing that scares me about it. It's just with lawsuits and stuff like that, they can really throw a wrench on the price action that you're seeing on it. I would like to go for 106. That does look pretty spicy. Market looks like it is gonna roll. Is it gonna go though? Which time is on this? Nvidia looks like it's gonna bust lower. Yeah, that's really interesting. Nvidia on the weekly looks like it wants to roll over. Oh my goodness, look at that candle on NQ. NQ just got like this crazy wick to the upside. Very cool. I like that. You know what? That's not bad. That's a great idea. It's not too expensive. The only bad thing about it is you probably won't capitalize on a split or something like that. If if I might say, I would take a look at Intel. I would take a look at Intel. I would look for some kind of pullback on Intel because we're throwing so much money at it. I mean, it's up over 100% right now. It's cheap. If it has a good, if it does anything like the rest of the chip sector is, it might be a good value buy just because it is so cheap. Just, something I've been looking at and thinking in my mind. So, again, good luck to you. Let's see the way the so what happening right now with this volatile movement in the market back to the upside is that Microsoft is actually responding to misinformation that was reported about their guidance. So the news that I had mentioned about Microsoft lowers AI software sales quota, that is incorrect. They are actually talking to CNBC and other agencies to resolve that because it is not correct. And it looks like Microsoft is actually ripping off of that, bouncing quite nicely. Look at NVIDIA, NSFT. They have not lowered their sales target. And look at that. Look at that rip on Microsoft. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Off those lows. Wow. Almost a $10 jump off of that sell. Woo-wee. Man, I bet you the CFO was fired up. Like, hell no. Ain't nobody talking about my shares. I bet you somebody got riled up, man. INTC at the bottom. Yeah. It's already revisited that area like 3 times before. I just don't know if it'll get back down there, because now we got now, we own Intel, now we're like fully vested in that, so I just, now you're already in? Nice. I wish I had done that. That's going to be my New Year's resolution. Since we've got these volumetrica stock accounts open for us so you can buy and sell shares now. I think I'm going to start looking at, buying and selling, that, like I said, my next year goal is I'm going to start accumulating more shares. Oh, okay. 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 I see what you're thinking. See, and that's what I'm thinking too. But like I said, the only thing that concerns me about it is the lawsuit. Because if once they settle for the lawsuit, it's going to be one, a lot of money, and two, the market's it's going to dip, and that's going to it depends on how soon you think that move could happen. That's the issue with it. Because if that move can happen before Christmas, we're making money. But if it happens in like 6 months, which you're probably, well, it depends on how you're holding it and what you're doing. Position. Okay, so you're holding shares on that, right? So you're doing shares on that, right? So, I mean, shares are the safest way to do it because worst comes to worst, you just wait for price to come back. As long as your dollar cost average is not too high, you should be all right. So I think it could work. I think it could work. I think time is on your side because obviously the court system is all jacked up. It takes forever for anything. Any legal lawsuit nowadays is just taking an astronomical time. Everything is just backlogged with the government shutdown, all that. I'm sure the legal system is probably backlogged like you wouldn't even believe. So I wouldn't even bother, worried about that. So you might be onto something there. I like it. I'm going to take a look at that UPS. I might even look at options trades out the end of the month. You know what? Since we're in chat, I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at that. All right, let's get back to the market. Market kind of just stopped though. It's just slow. We're gonna have a slow grind day since Microsoft's now, numbers are significantly better than what we were expecting. I don't know. We didn't even get a reload on this. Now we're gonna have to wait for it. You guys already long on this move? What a slow grind to the upside. Are we just gonna have that today? Oops, we made a mistake. What other numbers we got coming out the rest of the day? Okay, so in about an hour's time, we got a 7-week bond auction. So that'll be happening right after New York lunch, or right into New York lunch. You're gonna have that, and that will conclude our news for the day. That's it. We got that bond auction that might bring in some volatility, and then we're on for tomorrow. We got job cuts, balance of trade, jobless claims, import exports. Tomorrow's gonna be crazy. I wonder if what we're gonna see is positioning into tomorrow's event. If you're trying to trade options into a news event like that, you'll end up where premiums are juiced. So you'll have increased cost. Where people just because the volume is so high, they'll increase contract cost off of that. They'll have more value just because there's a significantly higher amount of traders. So some traders like to take positions into today into tomorrow's event since you can buy them cheaper, or even realistically, yesterday and the day before yesterday was the day you would have wanted to either have like swing calls or puts. Obviously, they may not be working out well for you, but if your anticipation is jobless claims, they can offer some great risk to reward. Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be a slow grind here in the morning session. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's selling. Bitcoin not looking as strong. Looks like Ethereum is actually holding a little bit better than Bitcoin is. Let's go back over to Microsoft and we're gonna switch this chart over to gold if my keyboard works. Gold looks like it wants to test that breakout level. Could it go for it though? You know what I haven't looked at for the morning session? I ain't looked at silver. I have not looked at silver all morning. Let's take a gander at it and see how it's doing in the morning session. It's got a W. Got a W on that 9 minute. Look at that bad boy right there. Ooh, could silver rip today? I'd love silver to rip today. Some heavy hitters here in the morning. Let's see. Let's see what calls are looking like. Actually, puts are a little bit more expensive on silver right now. 50 or one out the money put right now is about 17 cents. A call is actually cheaper at 13 cents. Does look like there is more volume to the upside though. Not a whole lot. There's a bunch of people underwater on it right now though. It's crazy. The $55 calls are like super underwater. They're like doing bad. Supposedly, there's an announcement to be made by the White House on fuel. So maybe gasoline stocks, something like that. Looks like NQ is making that next leg up. Look at that. Almost erasing the whole sell off that we had. NQ struggling there at the 26 now. Damn, what a move here on the market. Cray cray. Do we have a fair value gap trader here? What do you mean? I'm sure there's a few fair value gap traders here. That's kind of what this is that fair value gap. We got a bunch of imbalances in there. I mean, pretty much we've almost filled the whole thing. There's only about 50, maybe 65 points left to fill on it to the upside. Majority of it is done though. Was that buy on NQ now? That's it. That is it. Looks like we're gonna get that move up. Looks like it might just be a slow grind to the upside for today. Broke above all the orbs now, testing the 26. Looking ripe for upside movement. Looks like silver might be breaking out here shortly too, retesting the intraday high. One out the money calls, like I said, are now 13 cents. They've gone up a penny from the 12 cents just a few ago. Nope, an order block that turns into a unicorn, I believe. Yeah, you're probably right. It might be. I don't remember the unicorn. I've heard it along with turtle soup. And what I think the other one is Silver Bullet, I think is his other one. I've seen some of the names because just being in the space for a long time. You don't know what unicorn is. It's supposed to be like the head, and it's the the cone that comes up out in the yeah. That's what it's supposed to be. I mean, he's got his own mix, of what he's relabeled existing strategies. So that's really what it is. It's an existing strategy just with his name, with his spin on it. Was that upside is moving, is working? It's still a little too early for me to want to get involved. Too many ICT terminologies. You're right. Fair value gaps is all you really need. Market imbalances. You know, that's all you really need to learn. Some risk management and stuff from that side. That was the part I kind of took from it. The market imbalances and some of the structure. That's actually kind of where I got a lot of my insight because I went through his some of his coursework, and I just got kind of stuck because it's just so much talking, so much side banner, him complaining about people stealing his ideas, and then what a good trader he is and how much money he makes, and I just couldn't take all that stuff. It was just too much. It was just too much for me. My attention span is not that good, so I have to be more short and concise. I need someone that's not. I don't have a lot of time, so I can't have someone beating around the bush all day. I need them to get into the meat and potatoes of what they're trying to explain to me. I want to see if we can come back into that orb. Give me an entry. That's what I want. Man, those silver calls are 14 cents now. They're 14 cents now. Oh, they're dipping. It's dipping dots on those. Oh my God, we're getting a nasty sell. What is happening? Holy moly. Silver is dumping. What is happening? Well, the time frame I'm on. It's dumping. Picking it up. Does that mean the market is going to follow suit? Sheesh. Man, they dipped that down nasty. Those one out the money calls, they just dipped down to like 8, 7 cents. Holy moly, silver is like really, really selling. It's giving it up. Let's go take a look at silver because it is starting to move now. That means gold is also dipping, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're looking for something to trade, gold might just offer you a decent trend trade. You might be able to catch that short. Triple top on the hourly. Let's go take a gander at it. It's a wonky triple top. I see it. Is this what you're kind of thinking right here? Might be. Still got the you still got the 200 pretty well below. Yeah, it could very well be it. 52.50. Yeah, 52.50. They jumped that price. They were like a $2 a second ago. They're like they were 2 cents a minute or two ago, and now they're sitting at 8 cents, 7 cents now. Wow. All right, team. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab myself a cup of rocket fuel. BRB. Team, I am back. I am back. Boy, how's everybody doing in chat? Fairly quiet so far. All right, gold looks like it's starting to dip. Looks like it's gonna sell. Hmm. I probably anticipate the QQQ will as well. Can't get over the 200. Nasty. It just doesn't want to break out. The hourly change. we didn't even engulf the hourly. We still got 2 minutes on this though. Looks like the lower time frames are gonna roll today, taking over that sell, kind of turn this around. We'll see though. It does look like we want to roll over though on the lower time frames now though. Which I mean, we could dip right back into the orb low. That doesn't mean we can't. Let's look at the 30 minutes. See what the 30-minute structure is. 30-minute looks good. Got us to the daily open. Will we take out the London high? Some long wicks on the 30 there. Well, we got a few viewers out on TikTok Live. How are you guys doing out there? Hope you all are having a good day. Welcome to the stream. If you all have any questions, feel free to drop those in chat. Would love to hear, what you guys have to say or have a ticker, as well as my viewers on X, Kick, Twitch. All right, let's go back to gold, see what gold is doing. Let's get it up. That's normally a narrative. Always had taken that short on silver. See what those puts are at. At 7 cents. Those 5250s were 4 cents just a few minutes ago. It looks like it's gonna dump though. Let's go to SLV. Hmm. I wonder if it will. I wonder how low it can get into that. Looks like NQ is starting to catch a bid. See if it's going to retest that wick high, that prior wick high. We'll see. Oh, that's strong. I didn't put enough sugar in it. It's not sweet enough, but it's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, it is cold over here today. I closed my door to my office this morning, like right now. Like I came back in, I was like, I'm closing my door because it's cold. Hmm. That's not bad. What is that? Retro fives. Oh, there's a retro five. That's cool. Is that pink? Or what is that? I don't know if I like that. Let's see what else we got on the intraweb. See if we got any news popping off. There goes NQ catching that bid. Yeah, there's so many people stuck in those $54 calls on silver right now. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're 3 minutes past the top of the hour, half an hour into the London Power Hour session. So halfway through Power Hour for our friends across the pond. Seems like they might be swinging into the overnight session for them. That's kind of cool. Oh, so that was Paris. Interesting. What's that collab? Price action is just slow right now. Man, I can't believe we just have not gotten an entry on to be able to get in on this. I guess I could have gone in on that pullback to the EMAs right there. I should have been on a lower time frame and such a high instead of such a high one. Let's move over to the 9. Okay, so we're testing the 200 right now on the 9 minute. Trying to get over it right now. Got another minute left on this 9 minute candle. So I think we are going to fill that to the upside. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take. Will we get a pullback? I'd love to see a pullback back on the orb high so we could have an entry. I'd love an entry. Give us an opportunity here so we can make some money. It's like Bitcoin wants to sell. And there's that bid there on silver right now. Looks like silver might just go for it. Yeah, chat is quiet. You guys are super quiet this morning. Nobody's chatting very much or saying anything. You guys still awake out there? And you're rejecting off the 200 right now. Kind of up. Yeah. If you didn't catch the morning move that we caught, you'd be kind of like hosed right now because of the consolidation. You could see that on the 9 minute. We're just barcoding right now. You got a nice little push up about 20 minutes ago, and now it's just kind of just this is total bull stuff. Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. It is. It is pretty terrible. It is pretty terrible. It's still dark here. Oh, that's right. You've been traveling. You've been traveling, MJ. We got some sun rays shining through the window here. Second Q is gonna dip in. Can we get that orb low though? Don't know. I mean, technically, since this candle opened above the prior candle, we should get a move to the upside. Just saying. Shh, I'm short. All right, all right. Not saying anything. Nasdaq is selling though. Nasdaq is selling. Maybe we'll see the market just move to the sell side. 21 minutes away from London close. Will they repeat what they did yesterday? London sold us. They dumped us into the close or into their close. Remember? We got that nasty sell, and then it looked like we were gonna bounce. And then, like right at almost the end, it just puttered right out. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. Good job, Amaro. Nail it, brother. Nail it. Get you some. Get some post on social. Oh, there's a post on social about stock trading. Yeah, it's super exciting us offering stocks. I'm all about that. Giving traders more opportunities. I was short in Q also, and I'm locked out now. Good luck to you, my friend. Let's go. Nice. Congrats on that. Congrats on that trade. Killer. Killer trade. Yep, we added stock trading, brother. We've actually been working on it for a few weeks to bring stocks to you guys. So they were working on the plans, and finally, the all of that has come to fruition, which works out perfect because you guys know I talk a lot about stocks and shares throughout the day. I talk about it like throughout the days. So, it's going to be nice to be able to have a little something going on now, that I can kind of expand upon throughout the day. Let's see if that break's going to work for us. How far can we dip though? What do you guys think? 25 for 98 at least. Got the sell signal on NQ now. Yes, trying to bounce at the 26, trying to regain the 200. Yes, is ripping to the upside right now. Well, it's trying to bounce right now. Is that orb test that we're getting right now? Got less than we got 16 minutes till London Power Hour close. Let's see if they'll move us lower. We're holding that orb though. Can we penetrate through it and push us further lower? Yes, it's starting to trying to dip lower. Bulls are trying to buy it right now. Sitting at 6,843. Well, it's a tough move right now. See if it'll go though. Oh man. Yes, it's starting to rip up to the upside. Doesn't look like your short's gonna work at all, man. 'Cause the short is really just 25,611. What? What? Oh, so much for that. So much for that. Yeah, it looks like your short call on that, Chris, is not working out too well, broski. The 1 hour on NQ. Yeah, I got you. Why am I here? I didn't want to come here. Cup and handle. Oh, an inverted cup and handle. Could be. It definitely could be a cup and handle. You'd have to wait for it to form though. Looks like the upside is holding intact though for the time being. No live support on here. What? There we go. See if this works. No point. I'm getting hungry. Steve placing that lunch order yet? I doubt it, bro. I doubt we're gonna get lunch. Doubt it, man. I guess I'll. Man, what a nightmare. Wow. Looks like you probably got stopped out on that call there. Maybe. Are you still in that? Are you still in that put? Scalp City. Yeah, it's a crummy range. How's it going, ORC? Look at that funny guy over there. How you going, Stream Hub? Good to see you over there. What you laughing about? Okay. Wow. Like right in the middle of this thing here. Dang it. Oh, it's pretty nasty now. Yes, just took that sell. We're 6 minutes away from the London. Now, will they start to sell us off into the London close? That will be the good question for us. Super choppy, though. Super choppy morning. Retesting that orb high again. Will we bounce from here or will we can sell down? Such a difficult, morning so far. Does look like we have a bull flag here on the 10 minute. Could the bull flag hold or will it get invalidated? Is the better question. Stream World Pod. Let's take a look at yours. OCR Stream World Hub. You got like no videos posted or nothing. You got 24 followers though. Not too many followers. I can help you gain followers. How's it going, viewers out there on Kick? Good to see you all. What are we doing in the hitting space over there? Live captioning New York. Last 5 minute candle was the first higher low. Okay. Let's take a look at silver and see what silver's doing. Silver looks like it's going to break out to the upside. Well, I guess let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Still a lot of consolidation here on NQ here in the morning session. After that decent breakout, it is just been a slow grind. Greenhub.world. Let's take a look at what that is. That consolidation is holding. Doesn't look like they want to give us the move either. Fully automated system, web-based control panel, safe method to boost your channel, responsive technical support. Oh, well, you ain't selling nothing like that. You think we're going to consolidate till the next Wednesday until FOMC? You know, we very well could be. We very well could. We very well could consolidate until then. It's just hard to say. I think we're going to get a move. Starting to get the sell signals now. Here on the 10-minute. I was looking for the sell. And that is it, team. That concludes our London Power Hour. You've got 30 minutes until New York lunch. You don't want to miss that because that's when all the great stuff happens. You know, we got a whole lot of trading day left. You know, don't forget we got Steve Collegian coming in this evening for his Asia trading session. It's a free course offered by Blue Sky. You guys want to take advantage of that. And tomorrow we've got Coach Matt's great mentorship class happening after market close. So set your schedules, set your reminders for when Coach Matt goes live. And you can catch him here in Power Hour. So last hour of the session, you should be able to catch Coach Matt in the Power Hour session. So hope to see you guys there. If you guys like my stream, don't forget you can catch me here in the morning session from the open to London close, Monday through Friday. And you can catch my NQ, ES, and gold levels that I drop each and every single morning inside the Discord channel. I drop those usually, 10 minutes before market open, so you guys can make a analysis if they line up with your theses, and maybe even give you some intraday targets on where you could take the market. As always, much love. Thank you so much for all my viewers. Appreciate you guys. Hope to catch you all tomorrow. Good luck in the market. And don't forget about those great Blue Sky specials. That's right, guys. Launch pads on sale for $59, $69. Check out that new stock trading plan. For $100, now you can trade stocks in the market. That's an awesome offering. I can't wait to sign up. All right, team. Have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Hey, my code Riz. That's right. Code Riz for 30% off static and premium plans. I'll have an awesome graphic going up tomorrow. So I'll have that on the chat. Thank you, Nacho, for that. Much love. Good luck in the market, team. See y'all tomorrow.